if you guys are like me and you kind of struggle to shoot at longer distances, maybe you have to tap fire at long distance, or you have to stop firing because you can't control that recoil when you get to those really long distances, well, you might want to listen to this video, because I did a lot of things. I changed a lot of settings, I changed a lot of ways on how I play to actually be a lot better. Now, you might see some people who have laser accuracy at super long distance. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, some of them are probably cheating. Let's be honest, there's a lot of them in COD right now, but some of them are legit, and when they are legit, you could see the accuracy and you could just see the amount of skill that they have, and maybe you guys want to get to that level as well. So we're gonna get into it. I have 6 tips plus a bonus one for you guys in this video that's gonna help you remain more accurate at longer distances, hit those shots up close, win those gunfights, and how to actually beat your enemies 99% of the time. So let's get into it, guys. If you could drop a like on this video, I would truly appreciate that. Sub to the channel if you're new to it, those notifications turned on, and let me know down in the comments below, what is your favorite weapon for long range gunfights? Mine is I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's the Pulimot or something, whatever. It's an LMG. Okay, that thing is just insanely good. But let's get into the first one. So the first one is actually going to be in the settings. We're going to get that out of the way first. I feel like getting the settings out of the way first is the best way to do it, and there's 2 things that you want to look at in your settings. One of them is going to be your ADS sensitivity, and the other one is going to be your dead zones. All right, so your dead zones are actually pretty important. A lot of people kind of ignore these, but one of the main things that you want to be looking at in your dead zones is your left stick. The minimum on your left stick, you want to have it set to 0, and the maximum you want to have it set to 40. The reason you want to do this is because rotational aim assist is going to help you out a lot once that's set to 0. Putting it to 40 only helps you with movement and stuff, helps you be quicker, but when you put it to 0, rotational aim assist, the second you touch that left stick, it's going to take effect. And when you use your left stick to aim rather than your right stick, you're a lot more accurate. The aim assist is a lot stronger. So when you strafe in a gunfight left to right, that's a lot more important than using that right joystick to control your gun and all that kind of stuff. So that left stick with rotational aim assist is going to do you guys a lot of good. Definitely do that. Now, your ADS sensitivity, and I'm going to skip over the actual sensitivity because that doesn't really matter. That has no effect on when you're aiming down sights or anything like that, so it doesn't really affect many gunfights. It's pretty much just hip fire and how you move and how you turn. So set your actual sensitivity to whatever you feel like. Honestly, there's no reason to actually change it if you're comfortable where that is. But the ADS sensitivity, this one is a little more important. I recommend the higher you go in zoom levels on scopes, the lower you put that sensitivity. So at a base weapon, when you're using just the iron sights, I like to have it at around 0.90, 0.95 for the ADS sensitivity. Now, the higher I go, if I go to like a 2.5 time magnification, maybe I'll put it to 0.85 or 0.90, 0.90, and just kind of play like that. The higher you go in zoom levels, like an 8 times zoom, you might want to have that down all the way to 0.70 or 0.75. The lower you actually put this number with the higher zooms, the easier it is to actually control those guns at those longer distances. So that's really important. That's the setting, guys. Let's get out of the settings. I feel like there's not much else to talk about it. Well, there's one more thing that I quickly want to mention in settings. Turn off controller vibration, all right? If you play with controller vibration, it doesn't make much of a difference, let's be honest, but there is some micro movements, and your thumb is going to be moving a little bit with the vibration, and it could mess a little bit of your accuracy. So if you want to turn it off, I keep mine off personally, and I just feel like I play so much better, and I'm a lot more accurate with it off. Now, the next thing I want to talk about at number 2 here is to learn how to actually snap onto enemies, and this one is really important. Okay, using your crosshairs instead of your eyes is actually really good. And it's actually your eyes and crosshair should be like a one-man team, all right? Like, you should be working with it at all times. And the reason for this is because let's say there's an enemy and you don't really know where they are, but they're hiding in a building and stuff. Well, you want to have that crosshair either pointed at the door or at a window where you think they're going to be coming out of. This way, let's say you have your crosshair pointed directly at the window. The second the dude pops up, all you got to do is ADS and start shooting. And you could have that crosshair pointed there as you're running. And the crosshair, by the way, it's those 4 little lines in the center of your screen with the dot in the middle. That's pretty much it. That is what you want to use as your eyes. Always have your eyes there. Obviously, you look at the peripheral and stuff like that too, but it's actually really important to use that and kind of aim with that. A lot of times I see people run around, their crosshairs pointed at the floor. That's awful, because if an enemy pops up in front of you, by the time you actually point upwards and start shooting at him, he's probably already got you down to half health, so you're not winning that gunfight. Make sure that that crosshair is your eyes. Next off, you want to go at, well, number 3 here, I should say, is recoil control, okay? Recoil control is probably one of the most important things in the game. I'm going to get more into this afterwards on one of my bonus tips that I want to give you guys, but in terms of recoil control with weapon patterns and all that kind of stuff, the best way to control recoil is attachments, all right? We all know this. A lot of people think that like on SMGs and stuff, they have to make it faster. They got to make them quicker and all that kind of stuff. What I like to focus on SMGs, well, at least in terms of stock and rear grip on the weapons, that's where I focus most of my ADS, most of my sprint to fire and stuff like that. And if the gun has too much recoil, I focus on controlling the recoil with either the underbarrel, the muzzle, or the barrel itself, or all three of them together. I feel like those give the best recoil controls on your weapon. So when creating a class or making a gun, make sure that you focus the barrel, the muzzle, the underbarrel, all of that kind of stuff on recoil control, range, and all that kind of stuff. And then if you want the gun to be slightly quicker, put on a smaller stock or a stock that's going to make you quicker. Put on a rear grip that's going to make you quicker as well. If the gun has too much recoil that's just uncontrollable, focus recoil on every single attachment and the gun's just going to be better. Then you're going to like it a lot better too. So yeah, that's recoil control. Let's get that one out of the way as well. Let's move on to number 4. And number 4 doesn't have much to do with actually aiming itself, but has everything to do with your placement on the map. And this might sound like it won't help aiming at all, and it probably sounds counterintuitive, let's be honest. However, if you're a harder target to hit and you make yourself a hard target to hit, the enemies will hit less shots on you. And what does that do? Well, it gives you a lot less flinch in a gunfight, and you can remain a lot more accurate as well. And holding head glitches are super nice. A head glitch, basically, it's when you stand behind an object and the enemy could only see your head sticking out. And this is really good because it makes you such a hard target to hit, but you could practically see the whole entire enemy's body, even though he can't see you at all. So this is like either hiding behind a window, a wall, a rock, a garbage can, literally anything. Just hide behind anything, make yourself a hard target to hit, and you're going to win a lot more gunfights because you're going to flinch a lot less. So that's actually really good. I like that one a lot. Let's go down to number 5 on the list, guys, before we get to the bonus and then the last one. Number 5 is to aim at the chest and not the head. So this might again sound a little counterintuitive, but let's be honest. Headshots deal the most damage, so why not aim at the head? Well, if you aim at the chest, for one, the chest is the biggest part of the enemy to hit. So if you have struggle with accuracy or anything like that, aiming for the chest is going to be probably the easiest place for you to aim. It also does the second amount of maximum damage that you could do to an enemy. And when aiming at the chest, if you flinch or if your gun has recoil, it's going to bounce up and automatically hit the enemy in the head. If you're aiming at the head on the enemy, and you have flinch or recoil, it's going to bounce up and you're going to miss shots. So definitely go ahead and do this. Now, if you're 10 meters and closer, like really close range, then I say it's fine to aim for the head. Chances are you're not going to miss it. It's a lot bigger on screen. It's a lot easier to aim at and stuff because it's a lot closer. But if you're 10 meters and further from any enemy, go ahead and shoot at the chest, not the head, and not the legs. Please, not the legs. A lot of people, I mean, if you're the type of person who just gets into a gunfight and you're not thinking of it, you just aim and shoot, and whatever you hit is whatever you hit. Start focusing on it, all right? Make sure that you start saying in your head, at least to yourself or something like that you're going to start aiming at the chest. So you get into a gunfight, the second you get into a gunfight, make sure that's your main focus. Aim for the chest, aim for the chest. Make sure you keep saying that to yourself, and you're going to start doing it in game, and do that every single gunfight, and you're just going to see, just by saying those few words to yourself while in the gunfight, you're going to be a much better player. Now let's get into the bonus tip before we get to the last one here, guys. I want you to go to a private match, take your favorite weapon with you, the gun that you use most times that you play with, and the gun that you think that you need better control with. Bring it to a private match and take off all of the attachments, okay? Don't turn on any bots or anything like that. Don't do none of that. Just take it to a private match and turn on all the, or take off all the attachments, I should say. And what you want to do is you want to find a wall, and this is going to let you see the recoil pattern of the weapon at every single distance that you want. So go on a larger map for sure. Aim at the wall, get pretty close to the wall, go like 5 meters, go really right up to it where your gun's almost kissing it. Get close to the wall, start shooting, and look at that recoil pattern up close. If there's not much, perfect, back up, go back another 10 meters, go 15 meters back, aim at that wall. And if you want to see your meters, just ping the wall, press up on, I think, your joystick on the controller, not your joystick, on your D-pad on the controller. Pressing up, I think, is what you use to ping. Go ahead and do that, and then you'll see how far you are going from the wall, and just go as far back as you possibly can on whatever map you're on and start shooting it, and try to control that recoil as best as you can with the base version of this weapon. That's going to be like the raw weapon, what it is and how the actual recoil is, so that once you actually throw attachments onto it and you know where that recoil pattern is, let's say it shoots up to the right, then you know when you get into a gunfight, you got to hold down to the left a little bit on your joystick to control that recoil a lot easier. Let's say it shoots up to the left, and you got to hold down to the right, and it's just going to be a lot easier for you to control weapons, and just overall makes it just really easy for you guys. Now the last thing I want to say, and if you guys know me, you know this is what I'm going to say. I've been doing this for years. It's something I find really important. Stay in that private match, Except this time, you're going to play against bots. Put the maximum amount of bots on the enemy team. Set it to headshot only, okay? You don't want to set it to anything else. You only want to set it to headshots so that even if you shoot the chest, it doesn't count. You have to hit the headshots. Turn the radar always on and put maximum health, okay? No aim assist. Take off your aim assist and set the bots to recruit. It doesn't matter if they don't shoot back. This is all practice for you. So no aim assist is going to help you guys a lot because you're going to be focusing on hitting those headshots and then go for like 200-300 kills this way. And then once you actually go ahead and do this a lot and you get a bunch of headshots without aim assist and you just go ahead with the max health where you have to hit a bunch of shots, once you go online, it's going to be so easy to aim and kill enemies. But make sure you turn your aim assist back on when you go online. I've done a few times where I forgot to turn it back on and I just had a really rough time online and I thought I was just horrible at the game, but I wasn't. It was literally because I forgot to turn aim assist back on. And a lot of people say don't use aim assist, blah blah blah. Guys, if you're online, use aim assist. You have to. It's in the game. It's going to make you better and it's just overall a really good thing. Now that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like on this one. Like I said, man, if you could let me know down in the comments below your favorite weapon for those long range gunfights, let me know down in the comments below. I'm really interested in seeing what everyone uses, and sub to the channel if those notifications turned on. I would truly appreciate that, guys. Thank you for watching. My name is Nick and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.